Well, I was going to try to do so, Teague, with an offense that you don't really see much anymore. Kind of like the 50s and 60s, kind of wedge them together, bunch of tight ends, run the ball, short stuff. Mariota, we know, can run. They do have two very good running backs, and one was drafted, one was acquired. So let's see what the offense is. The defense should be okay. We're joined now by Brian Orakpo, their linebacker here on Tiki and Tierney. Brian, what's happening, bud?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man.
How are you?
Good to have you on, and I know the season's right around the corner. What's the level of optimism in Tennessee right now? Obviously, the outside expectations aren't high, but what's it like internally?
We feel very confident. We made a lot of great moves, both coaching and player wise, to get this team better.
You know,
we got to get over that hump. So I really feel like we made the right moves to really compete in this league.
Yeah, tell us about the coaching move, because I think it caught some people off guard a little bit, and they hang on to your head coach, who was a coordinator. What's been his message as the, for lack of a better word, transition to him as head coach has taken place?
It's been pretty smooth. Once he got the intern job last year, he emphasized us finishing and being a physical team, and it really paid off because, even though we didn't win a lot of games, obviously everybody knows our record. We were in a ton of games, and we were a very physical team, and we was a team that just couldn't finish in the fourth quarter. So, it's really going to carry over to this year for us, finishing those games that we were supposed to win and just being the smash mouth physical football team that he's been emphasizing since day one.
Brian, both Tiki and I have met Derrick Henry a couple of times, and, as big as he looks on TV, man, in person for a running back, he's even bigger. As a pro, you've been around a while and a good player. What is it like to tackle him? What do you see with his style? We know more about Murray as a player on Sunday. What do you think Derrick Henry gives you this year?
Yeah, man, he's definitely a physical presence. I mean, he looks like me running the ball. I mean, that's crazy. I haven't seen a guy that big being with that agile. Usually a guy's normally stiff and can't really move, really just straight downhill. But the guy got tremendous speed on him. He's very agile, and he can run you over by any blue moon. So I've been very impressed with what he's bringing to the table, and it's going to be hell for guys trying to tackle him throughout the season.
We're talking to Brian Orakpo with the Titans. Tennessee coming off a 3-win season, but made a few modifications, hoping to take the next step.
You were a first-round draft pick quarterback last year, Marcus Mariota. He was exciting. He had some flashes. What's his development like in year two? And I think that's more importantly, what about him as leader? Because I think every quarterback in this league, in a quarterback-driven league, as we like to say, has to kind of rise to the top as far as leadership amongst everybody else.
Yeah, he's definitely matured from that standpoint. He's taken the bull by the horn. I mean, the guy's commanding the offense, that huddle, the way he's able to make changes and the way he's able to lead those guys and be positive for the team and the offense in general has been a good thing. And, he's night and day from when he first got here. I mean, the guy was. He's still learning. He still wants to get better, but he seems almost like he's ready to take that next level and be an elite quarterback in this league. I mean, he's out there making plays, play after play, not only with his feet, but just the accuracy with the ball. So it's been impressive just to see his maturity throughout the offseason.
Brian, one thing that jumped out, I know Tiki shares this as well. We're talking to Brian Orakpo of the Titans with us here on Tiki and Tierney, is that when we chat with Marcus, whether it was at Oregon or last year with Tennessee as a rookie, the humility is very obvious, but it's almost too quiet, man. I mean, on the field, is he different? Does he resonate? I know that you mentioned that he is a good leader, but it seems like he's got to really change his personality on the field, does he?
No, you don't have to change anything. Everybody leads in a different way, and don't let the quiet Marcus fool you. It's a perception. I mean, what I mean by that is he's very fiery. He's very energetic in his own way. He may come off like a real laid-back type of guy, which he is at times, but once he straps up and he puts that jersey on, man, he's an animal out there, a silent assassin, we like to call him. So.
Nice.
So we're very excited by what he brings to the table. And like I said, he's really taken that leadership role to another level and doing it his way, and his way that he feels comfortable at it.
Let me throw this question out there about the division, Brian, because when you look at it in the South, Everybody's talking about the Texans, how they've now jumped over the Colts. The Colts just gave Andrew Luck, 5 generations of wealth. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that everybody's saying is young, and Blake Bortles and that receiving core. What about the Titans? Where do you guys fit in this division, and how do you ascend to the top of it if you should should be able to make it there?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see, and it starts with obviously we got the game against the Dolphins to finish up the preseason, and we start opening the season opener with the Vikings, and we're going to see what we're made of. One thing about it, our philosophy, man, let's stop talking about it. Let's just go out there and be about it. Let's go out there and work. It looks great on paper. That goes with any team like what we did to add the different acquisitions through free agency or through the draft. But you got to go out there and prove your worth, and that's what we're all about. Instead of talking about it, let's go out there and be about it and go to work.
We had this conversation with I forget who the Patriots play, but the team that they're playing in the first game, the Cardinals. Would you rather have had Tom Brady there? Well, you guys obviously got, I don't want to say it's good news because you never want to see one of our brothers get hurt, but Teddy Bridgewater goes down, and it's a different approach to game one. Do you prefer playing the best on the other team, or are you one of those guys like some who say, give me the weakest guy on the squad?
Yeah, I'm definitely want the best. I definitely want the best, but I understand the NFL. A win is a win, regardless of how it comes. But it's so unfortunate, and prayers up for Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal player, and just to see a horrendous injury happen like that unfold, especially this late in the preseason, is definitely unfortunate for that organization. And I know he has a lot of support from his brothers around the league because, like you said, it's a fraternity. Regardless of what team or who you play for, we're all brothers in this, and hopefully he can have a speedy recovery.
Let's go to Brian Orakpo of the Tennessee Titans with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Brian, you've been around enough now. You know the politics, you know the dynamics, the monetary aspect, everything that goes with being a pro. Because as much as we want to look at it as a game, and it's a job, and you live it, Tiki lived it as well. The emotions the past week have been very interesting with Kaepernick. What's your take? I know you paid attention to it. What do you think about what Colin did, and what do you think about the reaction?
Well, you got to respect it. You got to do nothing but respect his opinion. That's what makes this country so great. So, whether you like it or not, you have to respect his opinion and don't just judge his actions. Listen to what he's actually saying and his point of view, and then you just go from there. Whether you agree with it or not, you have to, he's entitled to it. Like I always would say, he's entitled to his own opinion.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, we've been saying the same thing. I wonder if it would be more personal if it's a teammate of yours. Not that you would change your basic premise, but somebody you go to battle with every Sunday, if you see them sitting, would that rub you the wrong way?
No, it wouldn't rub me the wrong way if he was able to explain his message, which Kaepernick did with his organization, with the 49ers, to have a player-only meeting, or if the coaches want to get some knowledge about it as well. Let's everybody sit down and let's talk about it, and let's get everything out and open in the air. And, that's what they did. And like I said, you can't do nothing but respect his opinion.
I'm trying to think back to your days in Washington. If there was ever any locker room distraction like that.
Are you serious, in Washington?
Well, I mean there was, but I'm trying to think of one specifically. Obviously, the coaching issues and the RG3 stuff. I guess RG3 is a perfect example. Some of the things that were going on with him, coming off the injury, and it was like, I'm all in, and more about being a leader. It was odd. Like we weren't talking football when we were talking about the Washington Redskins. How do you get past that? Like, how do you move it back into football? Because I think that's the challenge that the San Francisco 49ers are going to face.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. Whenever you're dealing with outside noise and it's really just leaking and just becoming a sort of a distraction outside of the game, it's definitely tough. My previous team, we dealt with all kinds of accusations and he say, she say type of stuff. And, as the leaders on the team, you have to kind of, have those type of player-only meetings or have those situations where you got to get everybody back on board and get back to knowing what the ultimate goal is. And that's obviously playing in the Super Bowl and winning that championship and get everybody back on track. And that's all you can do. But like I said, whenever there's a situation where somebody feels strongly about a certain subject, you have to do nothing. You can't do nothing but respect it and hear where the guy's coming from. and then once you guys get everything out in the air, let's get back to the ultimate goal. Let's go win some ball games.
It's the way it's got to be. Back to RG3 for a second. You know him well enough to at least have an opinion on this. I mean, do you think he sinks or swims? Does he revive if he stays healthy? Do you have faith in RG3 to revive his career?
Yeah, we do. I said we do.
Not we, man. He's the enemy now. Come on, we.
He's in the other
Marcus
side.
is your quarterback, not RG3.
Yeah, I really believe so. I really believe so because he's been doing a phenomenal job come preseason. And I hope he really revives his career. I think Cleveland is the best situation for him right now, and I hope he does well, except when he plays us.
That's the way it's got to be as well. Good stuff. Brian Orakpo for the Tennessee Titans, trying to improve upon the 3-13 a year ago. Nice running attack. Mariota's second year. I like the kid Conklin. Oh, yeah, real quick. Conklin was a nasty, nasty interior lineman at Michigan State. Tiki and I loved him going into the draft, and I'm sure you banged helmets with him a few times. Is he the real deal? Is he going to be good?
Yeah, Conklin's going to be great. He's been phenomenal since day one. He's got a lot to continue to work on and continue to progress and get better. But the great thing about it is he's another humble guy that wants to get better and learn from the veterans. And he's been doing a tremendous job holding down that right tackle position and really keeping the pass rushers away from Marcus. And he has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, keep the young man upright. That's what you got to do. Brian, we appreciate you, man. Good luck. Good chatting with you. And thanks for your insights on a lot of things with the Titans and around the league.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
You got it, Brian. Good stuff. Stay healthy. Brian Orakpo from the Titans.